So today we are going to learn one more event class, that is adjustment event class. So adjustment event is related to, or it is generated when a scroll bar status changes. So adjustment event class deals with all these different types of actions or the events that take place. Together they are called as adjustment event. Fine. So now when you look at the scroll bar, you might not have carefully observed how does the scroll bar actually works. So let me just show you these actions. Now at the right side, all of you just observe my cursor. I have taken my cursor towards the vertical scroll bar. Everybody can see? Yes? Raise your hands.
Yes,
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 yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
So we'll just minimize this. Okay. So here is my vertical scroll bar. On a scroll bar, how does the picture of a scroll bar look? So let me show you here. On a scroll bar, you will see two ends which are indicated by the arrowheads. In case of horizontal scroll bar, arrowhead will be directed towards left and right. In case of vertical scroll bar, it will be directed towards top and bottom. Fine. Showing the directions. So normally, can you see here top cursor? So this is the top end and this is the bottom end. Uh, or by the general assumption, when you move, okay, on the scroll bar, there will be one block called as, this is called as thumb tracker. What is it called as?
Thumb tracker.
Thumb tracker. Now, this is actually responsible for indicating the value of a scroll bar. So you may wonder why this value is required. Okay. Earlier, I mean, few years ago in our syllabus, in your syllabus, we had one subject called as Visual Basic. Very, very interesting subject. I really feel that it should have been in the syllabus. I don't know why they removed it. It was very good start for learning all GUI components for the student. Very easy and very interesting topic it was. But anyways, in that, uh, students, I mean, we used to write programs by taking all these components. Okay. Now regarding scroll bar, how the programs were written, I'll just tell you the example. In case of scroll bar, uh, Visual Basic actually allowed to define the properties and work with ready-made methods in a GUI manner. GUI in the sense we could see the properties written there and their values also. We could directly go to that table and we could change the values. Fine. Anyway, now what are the, okay, for example, this is a scroll bar. What are the two properties? There was a property called as minimum and maximum. What does that indicate? Scroll bar is always associated with a range of values. It's not associated with single value. If you take the example of a text box, it is associated with a string value. If you take the example of a checkbox, I hope everyone knows what is a checkbox now. A square in which we can check and uncheck. We can put a tick mark and we can untick that. A checkbox is associated with the integer value or Boolean value, true and false. When you check, we get the integer value 1. When you uncheck, we get the integer value 0. So I hope you're getting what I'm trying to explain. Every component is associated with some value and the programs are written in relation with those values. In case of scroll bar, it is not a single value, it is a range of values this scroll bar will be associated with. And that range a programmer can define. In the sense, I can define my own range. So when we wrote programs, there was one program called as taking a scroll bar, calculate the squares of all the numbers between 2 to 10 or 1 to 10. So that time, like for example, this scroll bar. Now, how to make this scroll bar associated with a range of values? There was one property, or there is one property called as minimum, and there is a property called as maximum. So when we say minimum, it is a lower bound, and when we say maximum, it is a upper bound. So here you can see this is a lower bound, So you are free to define its range. Like if you want the range from 10 to 20, you can make the lower bound as 10 and upper bound as 20. Now suppose I want from 1 to 10, so I define this lower bound as 1 and I define this upper bound or max value as 10. Fine. And then whatever, now suppose 1 to 10. If this particular scroll bar indicates a range of values between 1 to 10, can you tell me if my thumb tracker is here? Now thumb tracker will tell you what exactly is the current value. If my thumb tracker would be here, can you just guess approximately what could be the value?
4.
4.
Yeah, around 4. Fine. So you got the point now. So thumb tracker's current position will define the value associated with the scroll bar at that particular point of time. Fine. So this is how. Now, can you tell me, okay, forget about this annotation, I'll clear. Can you tell me now what is the value of a scroll bar if you take the range as 1 to 10?
1.
1. Very good. Because the thumb tracker is touching the lower end. So in case of horizontal scroll bar, left side indicates the lower end and right side indicates the higher end. And in case of vertical scroll bar, top position indicates the lower end and bottom position indicates the higher end. Now in case of your Windows scroll bar here at the right side, fine, here. So here your scroll bar is lying somewhere here in 1/4 position. So 25% of the page we have scrolled, isn't it? So this thumb tracker will tell you the exact value. So there is one method which is associated with adjustment event class called as get value. So let me just take it down. There is a method called as get value. We have directly jumped to the last statement here. Can you see? So get value returns the amount of the adjustment that, or it actually returns the value of the current position of the scroll bar. Fine. So here, if this range is 1 to 10, this would return somewhere around 2 or 3 value approximately. Clear? So yeah, so thumb tracker will tell you exactly the value. So get value method will tell you the value of the current position of the thumb tracker. Now, apart from that, now what are the different types of actions that happen? User can click on this end or he can click on this ends. User can click or make the changes in the value by clicking inside this area. Not at the edges, but on in the empty area here. So if the user clicks here, it will change. I mean the value, it will decrement. If the user clicks here below the thumb tracker, it will increment. So this is called as block increment, block decrement and block increment. So let us see what are the constants defined in this adjustment event class. So we'll read through this table. Block increment, when the user click inside the scroll bar to decrease its value. Which constant is, which action happens? Block increment. And sorry, block decrement to decrease the value. Block increment, the user clicked inside the scroll bar to increase its value. Then unit decrement, the button at the end of the scroll bar was clicked to decrease its value. That means which button? The edge button, the arrowhead button is clicked. So now, okay, forget about this table. I will show you with this actual actions. So we'll again move towards this, our vertical scroll bar, which is at the right side of our window. Now I will just click and you observe the change. Let me just revise. When you click on the arrowheads, it is called as unit increment or unit decrement. When you click inside this area, it is called as block increment and block decrement. Okay. So you tell me whether unit is bigger or block is bigger. Huh? I will just click and show you. You just don't concentrate on what, I mean, which kind of text content is being displayed here. So just concentrate on the movement of the scroll bar. Now I'm incrementing it by clicking on the lower end. I'm decrementing it by clicking on the upper end. Okay, so this was unit decrement and this was unit increment. Now let me click on this blank area. Now this is block increment I'm doing. And this is block decrement. Can you tell me comparatively which is bigger? Unit increment is bigger or block increment is bigger?
Block increment.
Yeah, very good. So block increment will be associated. Again, these values a programmer can set. How much should be block increment and I mean, of course, increment and decrement will be same. Again, you can't have two different values. Like it is something like one person, if he's climbing the staircase, you are going to decide whether you want to climb through each step or you want to climb through alternate steps. Some people have the habit of going fast by skipping one step on the staircase and just climbing through two steps at a time. Fine. So similarly, this block value, how much area should be jumped, that a programmer can decide. Similarly, unit, but logically unit indicates the unit value. That means here you're going through every step. One small change in that thumb tracker value will occur. Fine. So I hope you got the 4 constants now. What is unit increment now? When does unit increment happen? In case of vertical scroll bar.
When we click on the bottom arrow.
Bottom arrow, very good. Okay, someone else. When does the block decrement takes place?
When we click on the empty space of the scroll bar above.
Above, yeah, above is decrement and below is increment. Okay, so all of you, I'm sure now you are clear with unit increment, unit decrement, block increment and block decrement. Okay, so these 4 constants are defined in adjustment event class. They indicate the action, what happens. Okay, whether user has clicked in a block increment, I mean which action user has done, that we can come to know by these constants. These constants will be returned when the user actually performs that particular event. And then okay, the method which will return these 4 constants, okay, the method which will give us these values. Which value? If I want to know which action user has performed, whether user has performed block increment or whether user has performed unit increment or block decrement or unit decrement, which action user has performed. If I want to know, there is a method which will give me that value. Which method? Get adjustment type. Which method? Get adjustment type. So this get adjustment type method will return one of these constants based on whichever action user has performed. If user has performed block increment, it will return the constant block increment. It is associated with one integer value that we will not discuss right now. Just remember that it will return that constant block increment. Clear? So, and which method will tell us which action has occurred? Get adjustment type. Clear with that? Fine. Now, get adjustable is a method which will return the object that generated the event. So when we actually write the program, we'll be creating object of a scroll bar. So that object, fine, what is the name of the object? If you want to know, then we can fetch it using get adjustable method. So I hope you are clear with all these 3 methods. Get value will return the current value based on the thumb tracker position. Get adjustment type will return one of the constant based on which action user has performed. Get adjustable will return the name of the object that generated the event. Clear? So these are the three methods which are defined in this adjustment event class. Now, three methods we have learned. Now, variables, 4 variables we have already learned. Then there is one more constant called as track. Here the name for thumb tracker is used as slider. Some people will call it as slider. Some people will call it as thumb tracker. Or some people will call simply it as thumb. So this track will tell that user has not clicked on unit increment or unit decrement or block increment, block decrement. User can change a value by directly pressing the cursor on that thumb tracker and pressing and dragging it. So I'm doing it. This is the fastest movement. You can just press it and drag it at the end also. Clear with that? So there is another possibility of the action. Which action is possible? That the user can directly click on, press on that thumb tracker and just move it towards the lower end or the upper end. Clear with that? So if when the user does, which constant will be returned? Track. Clear? Now, this adjustment events, 5 constants are. So when you are asked to explain about adjustment event, you will just tell when does that adjustment event occur. It gets generated when a scroll bar is manipulated in 5 different ways. Okay, which 5 different ways is been defined by the help of these 5 constants: unit increment, unit decrement, block increment, block decrement, and track. Fine. And then along with that, there are 3 methods which will help us to work with scroll bar. One is get value. This method will return the amount of the adjustment. That means amount of the value we have scrolled right now, or what is the current position of the thumb tracker. Fine. Then get adjustment type will return what type of action or what type of actual adjustment event was generated. Get adjustable will return a object. Fine. Now, whenever we create object of this adjustment event class, when we create object, we look at the constructor. We have to create object based on the constructor, how it is defined. So this is a constructor which is given in your textbook, which has 4 parameters. One is adjustable source, first parameter. Fine. It is a reference of the object that generated this event. Integer ID, it is equal to adjustment value changed. Then int type, it is a type of the event, and int data, it's associated data. Fine. So normally you will be just creating a reference of it. You will not create the complete object using this constructor. Fine. So this is just for your theoretical understanding. Fine. Practically, if you want to work with this adjustment event, you will be working only with the methods. Clear with that? I hope this adjustment event class is clear to you. Let's go to the next class quickly in 2-3 minutes, and we'll stop. We'll just go through the video